Hello and welcome to the LobbyCon podcast, where we talk about conventions of all kinds, from anime to tattoo conventions. We could even have conversations on work-related conventions. But till we get to that point, we're going to talk more about my experiences at the conventions. My name is Jaden, and please enjoy the episode. Let's start with the fact that I only found out about anime conventions and manga when I was in grade 9 or 10 or something. I can't remember. So 14, 15 area, like I had watched anime without realizing it was anime. Most of the time I just assumed it was cartoons. At that time I didn't realize that anime is basically Japanese cartoons to an extent. Anime is a lot more in depth than cartoons are. But, anyways, this is not about cartoons or anime. This is about conventions. After I became aware of anime and manga, I also found out about conventions. Now, my first cosplay was poorly put together since I tried to do it by myself. I ended up cosplaying from a manga called Loveless by Yun Koga, or Koga. I'm so sorry. I'm really bad with pronunciation. The character I was cosplaying was Ritsuka. We're just gonna say Ritsuka. I am not gonna try his last name. I am so sorry. And his true name. So in the manga, every person has their true name, and his true name was Loveless. But we're getting off track at this point. This con was held at the college in the city I grew up in, and it wasn't expensive to attend. It was around $30 for both days and 25 for Saturday, 15 for Sunday, because Saturday is the big day and it's a full day rather than Sunday. It's just a kind of half day. Not so many people are going to show up. And if you do the package deal, then you get a little bit cheaper, which is awesome. The con was held on July 24th and 25th in 2010, which was actually the last year that it was running. It was my first convention and last time that convention ran, and I'm like, oh, come on. I was very disappointed. Even like at one point, I had won a free ticket to the next convention, and lo and behold, they didn't continue the convention, and I was very very disappointed in that. But you know what? Life's life. It happens. When I went to the convention, I was going alone. So I didn't have anyone to come with me. I didn't really have anyone to drop me off, but I managed to convince my mom to give me a lift. So she dropped me off at the college, and I'm just a high schooler, like going from grade 9 into grade 10 kind of situation. I have no idea where I'm going in this college, and I literally was just like wandering a bit until I managed to find my way there. I paid for my ticket, wandered a little bit in the convention, and I was I was feeling very iffy about it because I didn't know anyone. I wasn't interacting with a lot of people. I just felt really weird. And then eventually, as I was by myself, loner much, I noticed two people that were cosplaying from an anime called Death Note, and they were cosplaying Light Yagami and L. And immediately I was like, oh my gosh, I love your cosplays. Can I take a picture? So I took their picture after they agreed, of course. And we started talking. I explained that I just like got into cosplay, into anime, and this was my very first con, and I have no idea what I'm doing. If they give me like any tidbits and here and there kind of thing, instead of giving me, tips on what to do, or just kind of telling me, "Oh, welcome to the world of convention going," they were like, "Why don't you come and hang out with us?" Just to kind of understand how a convention goes, because there was panels, there was a dealer's room, there was the artist alley, and I was immediately like, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much! I appreciate this so much." It was they made my convention experience so much better. Where if I was just to be alone, I probably wouldn't have had as much fun as I actually did. And it was really, really nice. We ended up going to a couple of panels, and we even kind of went out of the con just to go take some photos. I, of course, wasn't really participating in the photos because my character was very far from their characters, so we didn't really do any photos. But they did photos of themselves, and I'm like, okay, this is awesome. Have at it, kind of thing. Then the next day came. I was not sure if I could hang out with them again. I kind of figured maybe they just wanted to hang out with me for the first time, first day, that's it, kind of thing. But no, very much no. We ended up meeting up and hung out for the remainder of the convention. And honestly, if the two of you are listening to this, I appreciate you so much and thank you so much for making my very first convention memorable, a good memorable experience. And that's the thing when it comes to conventions and starting off new to them, you really have to take consideration that back then it was a little bit easier to talk to people. Now it can be a little bit harder. People are a little bit more held back in a sense, but trust me, as soon as you find someone that you have a similar interest with that said person, you will feel like you were friends the whole time. For those out there who are new to conventions and are afraid to go alone, trust me, I get it. But there is the potential for making amazing friends and having the best time in your life. But I would highly, highly suggest going to a smaller convention to get you started off. Be it a festival one, a single day convention, one that is held in a smaller venue. It's just so much easier to get used to conventions that way than it is to go to a larger one. There may not be many nowadays, or you live too far away from them, but starting off small is highly recommended. Now, if you aren't alone and you have people you can attend with, then perhaps start off with a slightly larger convention. But please don't go to the largest one if you're not used to conventions. However, it is your life. You do you. It's your decisions. I can't say otherwise. I'm just going to give you a suggestion. I personally think that it's better to go to a smaller con than it is to go to a very large con. Like, if your very first con is Fan Expo, I'm sorry. It's a really good con, don't get me wrong, but it's a very, very, very big convention and it can be very overwhelming. I was lucky in the fact that my experience at the convention was positive. Some people aren't as lucky and can have a very negative experience at their very first con. Most of the time, when people have that bad experience, they avoid that convention altogether. They might try another one, but a lot of the times, if they have one bad experience, I can vouch for this, they don't go back. And it's valid. It's completely valid because you have it's not a trauma but it's a trauma. You can only think about the negative things at the convention rather than the positives. And that can really really put someone off and going back to the convention. And sometimes it can put someone off so much that they don't even continue going to conventions altogether. Speaking of negative experiences, I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty of it, but we will definitely cover some of my negative experiences in future episodes. There are a good chunk of few out there, but just remember not every convention is going to be a negative one. Not everyone is going to be a positive one. There's going to be some people that are a little bit, sketchy. And then there's going to be a lot of people that are super cool and super fun to hang out with. And then there's going to be those people that are like, I feel like if I tried to talk with you, you would be like, ew, what the heck? So there's so many different views, so many different feelings when it comes to conventions. And that's why I want to talk about them in this podcast. It's a LobbyCon podcast. We're just imagine we're sitting in the lobby, we're having a good laugh, talking about our experiences at said conventions. Be like, oh, I remember this con. What have you ever been to this con? Let me tell you what happened at this convention, and so on and so forth. And that's what I love about the lobby. All right. So we're getting close to the end of the episode, and usually what I'm thinking of doing is telling you the next con to happen. Now there can be a lot of during the summer picnics, cosplay picnics where you meet up with a lot of cosplayers and just hang out. Like for instance, there is a cosplay picnic happening like in the nearest future, much more, near than the con I'm about to tell you about. I can't remember what it was. I know someone in my friend list was literally just posting about it because they're going. There it is. Okay. So, the most recent one that is going to be happening is a Jujutsu Kaisen cosplay picnic meetup. It is on Sunday, July 26th in Toronto at the Harbour Square Park from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. So if you want to go and you're in the area and you can get to it and you love Jujutsu Kaisen, I highly suggest going. It is a good startup to finding new people that are similar and have similar interests, and you can make friends and so on and so forth. Definitely very highly suggest going. I personally would like to go myself, but I'm a little busy, so I'm unfortunately not able to go. Now for the con. If you are in Ontario, Canada on August 8th, 2026, there is a convention called Aurelia Anime Fest, and it is at the Aurelia Square Mall. So if you are in the area and you would like to go, it's probably a smaller convention, which is since it's a single day con and it's at a mall, I would highly suggest going because it's nice, it's calm, and it's quiet, and it's going to be, I would assume, fun. All right. Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoyed today's episode. That is all for now. LobbyCon Podcast is going to be signing off, and I shall see you in the next episode. Until then, have an amazing, amazing day.